Okay, this is Real Guardian, and like I said last time, I am going to do these straight back to back and get them recorded and start posting them now. Also, as I said before, I need you guys to comment whether you want me to continue both the War of Naruto and this one, since they're the ones I want to do the most. I also want you guys to like, comment, subscribe, help me out so I can make this a regular thing because I really do like doing this a lot. Something that actually gives me passion back in my life because if you haven't read the About To page, I have actually been severely depressed. Not just because of what's been going on in real life, but also because of just life in general. So, let's get this started. Zuku just get this started. After we ended up with them ending with NG Todoroki or Endeavor telling him that he's going to start up with the warm-up drills for the other two. Izuku now nods as he tries to imagine the fire that is in his hand and is forming into it. He then puts it at a single point in his hand, then condensing that thought as hard as he can. He then fires at the metal dummy. At first, it comes out like a laser pit, but quickly turns into a flame blast. Mizuki just saying to himself, dang it. He then notices something. The Cho was doing okay with her training, whether it be her ice or her flame, where she left it out, her ice on her right side or her flame on her left side, I think. I might have that messed up, and if I do, someone just correct me. But Toya's blue flames start to burn him. He has to stop, causing Izuku to think about the ether potion. He then asks his head pirate. It seems Toya gets hurt by his quirk, and I think it's because his constitution. I think it's not made for his quirk. Do you think the potion can heal him? She answers yes, plus since it's ether based, it could help him with his constitution so he can actually use his quirk without fear. But it would take daily treatments for the full 3 months you're here to do so. With that, Izuku says, thank you, Pyra. He then went into his bag pulling out a potion. He then taps Endeavor on his hand, since that's all he can reach. Endeavor then looking down at Izuku, he quickly bends down, saying, so what is it, Izuku? Since he's wondering if he has a question about his training or something. He then shows him a potion and saying, see, I can make this, and I can only make one in a day right now. But if I give this to Toya for the next 3 months while I'm here training, I can make his constitution better and to the point where he could use his quirk without risk. The shocking endeavor. He then says, that thing in your hand can do that. Izuku just nods and tells him, since it's based off of his quirk, and since I use it to boost my energy, it can also boost my energy in my body. It can also boost someone else's energy and body. It even heals them. With this, Endeavor takes the potion, walks up to Toya, and tells him this is a gift from Izuku. It can help you with your quirky problem, he said. He then takes it from his father and drinks it. Then he noticed that the burn marks on his hand and a bit on his face are healing very quickly. Then Endeavor just asks, he uses a very small percentage of his quirk again, which Toy does. Then he notices he can handle it a little better. It's not burning him as fast. And when he realizes this, tears just stream down his face to the point where he actually runs up and tackles Izuku into a hug, thanking him. Izuku then starts tapping Toya, saying, I'm happy for you, but you're joking me. Then Toya says he's sorry about that and lets Izuku go. Izuku then has to explain to him it's going to take every day until I'm done my months of training here to treat you. Okay? Toya then nods. Shota, hearing this, is a little sad that she has to hear that Izuku's only going to be there for a short while. But she gets back to her warm-up sections. Now, they all spar against each other, and Endeavor does his best to help them all by telling them what they are doing wrong when it comes to each of them. Now, it's time for them to take a break. Before they get to the kitchen, Endeavor pulls Izuku nearby to him and bends down a little bit to speak to him about how he can help him. See, he has a move that he has that's very similar to the idea he's trying to do. He even tells him he is very impressed with Izuku. to figure that out on his own so easily. This causes you could say it was just dumb luck, with the Endeavor saying no. It wasn't dumb luck. It shows you how smart and gifted you are already at your age. It then rubs Izuku's head going into the kitchen. This causes Izuku to get pretty happy. And Pyra also telling him that he's right about Izuku, that he really is that kind of person. Now we cut to the kitchen. Now everyone enters to see this nice big spread and is kind of shocked, with them asking what it was. They're saying this is the lunch that Shoto has been bragging about lately. But instead of just clicking his tongue, he's walking over to the sink to wash his hands, and everyone else does follow suit because you have to keep up with that hygiene. They then sit down and eat, and once everyone in the Todoroki family takes a bite, like all as usual, they all down the food like it was nothing, with Endeavor even saying to Shoto, "You get to eat this every day while you train with this kid? How lucky are you?" Shoto then just grins, saying, "The luckiest." Then Endeavor turns to ask Izuku, "So who cooked this?" Then he looks at Izawa. Then he's just shrugging, because he can't give him an answer. Then Pyra gave him one. Told him to tell him this. Which he did. Izuku told him that it's a family friend that's staying with us for right now, since she's falling down on hard times. And they are the best at cooking. That Endeavor just says, "You're quite lucky. I wish I could have this every day." He did realize what he said, because he gets a death glare from Fumi and his wife, causing him to gulp, and he decides to keep his mouth shut. They then tell Izuku when they're done, "Thank you for bringing the food, and hope he has a safe trip home." Endeavor insists on walking him and Izawa out, though. But as they get outside, Izuku pulls out his hero notebook with a pen, asking Endeavor for his autograph. Then chuckling, saying, "Well, I forgot about that, but you sure didn't, huh?" Then saying, "Nope, I never would." He then signs it and told him that I find it okay if you just call me NG. Okay? Because honestly, Izuku, you're very worthy of calling me that. After all, you learned something that took me years to do with your own quirk, and I can tell my family really likes you. So I'd say you're an honorary Todoroki as well." Then pats Izuku's head, this making him happy, with Pyra even congratulating him on it. That Izawa then tells him to get in the car, and he takes him home, giving him a new training schedule that he will be being picked up by NG for the next 3 months, but be given an end of the week assignment test by Izawa to see how far he's progressing. He even adds in times that him and Pyra should be training. With this, Izuku starts the next 3 months. Now, we're going to cut the last day. He was at the Todoroki house, finishing Toya's treatment. Now, what he's been going on as he's with the Todoroki family is that everyone's gotten really close to Izuku. Endeavor, Rei, and Toya, and Natsu see him as a fellow son and brother, but Shoto and Fumi's feelings have gotten really strong for Izuku, and are basically really close to him at all times, and pretty close to him to a point where he does get a death glare from an overprotective dad from time to time. But after he gets done with Toya's treatment and says he can now use his quirk without any issues, because after they test it, he has no problem at all, he then thanks Izuku, because he can finally be a hero with this, and he will always be eternally grateful to Izuku and do everything in his power to help him. Izuku blushes, saying it's no problem. And as usual, they're sharing food made by Pyra, which always gets the bragging right of the family. But just then the doorbell rings, and Rei goes to get it. Now Izawa walks into the kitchen as Izuku's getting the last of the stuff ready. Realizing that he's here, he quickly leaves, since he knows Izawa time is the most precious thing. But before they go, Jizzy and Enji then bends down, telling Izuku, if you ever want to come over, just call him or Rei. that he thanks him for 3 months of training he's already given, and says he will because he honestly likes it here. Then he gets to the car with Izawa asking him, with him asking Izawa, "So you're going to take me home now, right?" Izawa actually saying, "No, not yet. I have to take you to UA to meet the principal since he wants to meet you, and since we're going to start your training there tomorrow, so he can get a good feel for you. And you're going to meet the staff tomorrow, and you're going to get the day off of school. And you're also going to be kicking some hero students into shape." Zawa then chuckles. Izuku then nods, with Power telling him, "So you're going to the school of your dreams, right? Can't wait for you to see it with you." Izuku Izuku nods, telling her, "Yeah, me too." They get to the front of UA. As usual, there's those stars in Izuku's eyes, but he quickly shakes his head and starts walking to Izawa. As they're going through an empty school, I mean, he knew it was lunchtime, but it was basically a half day, so everyone was gone, it seemed, even the teachers. As they're going through the school, they get to this office door, with Izawa knocking on it and a voice telling him to come in. Now, when they walk in, Izuku is completely shocked at what he sees. It looks like a small white mouse. No, wait, is it a bear mouse or a dog mouse? Honestly, I'd say a chimera would best describe him, he thought. He was in his suit and had a scar over one of his eyes and was small. He then got up and went to a teapot. He then asked Izawa what tea would Mr. Midori and Miss Pyra like. Izuku gave him a shocked impression with Izawa telling Izuku, "I had to tell him about Pyra. Okay? So, since he knows about Pyra, can you please bring her out?" With that, Izuku brings out Pyra. She stands next to Izuku, and they both introduce themselves, with Nezu returning the same introduction in return. They then told Nezu whatever he would prefer is fine with them. They then sit down on the couch that was in his office with Nezu, and then all of them, taking a sip of tea. And then he finally asks, "So, Izuku and Miss Pyra, can you explain in detail how this quirk works? Because I've never seen a sentient quirk turn into a human before. And from what Zawa has described, it seems the quirk is quite versatile. And also in the regard of the human form makes it quite unique." They then explain that Pyra is a blade and that she has command over fire. Izuku can summon her weapon, but given his age right now, it's best that he does not use it unless he has to. And he's learned how to use her flames without her weapon, or needing a link with her. And he's trying to train to be strong enough to be a worthy driver for her, he says. As they explain other things to Nezu, Nezu is then taking a sip of tea, thinking, mulling over, then says that truly is quite a unique quirk and power. I see why Izawa decided to teach you. It would be best for you to learn to master it as early as you can. Okay, thank you, Mr. Izuku and Miss Pyra, for being kind enough to be open enough to explain it to me. Now, allow me to give you this small gift." Then Nezu hands Izuku 2 ID cards, one with Pyra on it, one with Pyra's name on it, and one with his name on it. This will let you into the school grounds so the UA bearer doesn't stop you. And if anyone, student or teacher, tries to question you, you show them this. It says you're Izawa's trainee, and with that, they will leave you alone. They thank Nezu, and they leave with Izawa. They then ask, "So what's going to be the new training schedule for him?" He tells them for once, "You'll get it tomorrow after you meet everyone, because I need you to meet them. Also, Pyra, you will be out the whole time you're here, okay? And it's also because I think you guys need to do more bonding training with each other." They both nod their heads, and with that, he takes Izuku home. Now they walk in the home to see there's a note from Inko, because Pyra decided just to stay out and take a car ride with them. It seemed she had to go help a friend, and she'd be back home tomorrow morning. With that, Pyra just claps her hands, saying, That means I'm cooking dinner by myself today. So, Izuku, go take a bath. I'll get it ready. He nods his head and he takes a bath. He then gets out and he got dressed in his night clothes at this point. He walks to the dinner table and sees Pirate's just laying down dinnerware right now. She turns to tell Izuku, I got almost got dinner done. Can you finish setting up the table for me really quickly? He then nods his head saying, of course he can do that for her. He then takes the job over and Pyra goes finish dinner. When she comes back, she sits the food down and sits next to Izuku. We both have dinner. Izuku telling her to go take a bath after they finished eating. I'll get everything clean. Now, Pyra tries to protest this, but Izuku telling her no. And even said, I can do it myself. Plus, remember, we made a promise to support each other. So let me do it, okay? Gives her a happy smile, causing her to blush a little. She then goes off to the bath, Izuku then cleaning up the table. He then gets ready for bed. As he goes to his room, Pyra walks in wearing her PJs, saying goodnight since she decided she didn't want to go on the crystal today. Now she's going to go to the couch, but Izuku then just grabs her hand, stops her, and asking her to sleep with him tonight. After all, you stay in the crystal with me all the time, so it's not really that different. She then says it's only okay if it's with him. He then nods as they lay down. Pyra cuddles with him, saying goodnight, and they go to sleep. Okay, this is the end of the video. I'm sorry I had to split these both up, even though this part's a lot shorter than the other one, and I could have probably just put them together, but I am really tired, but I'm in the middle of doing stuff, so I still had to split them up. I did record them back to back. It's because of just normally that's what I do, so I'm mentally slave to my own routine. Okay, with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, comment, like, subscribe, help me out so I can do this more often, and I guys have a wonderful night. Because when I do post this, it's going to be really early in the morning, or late after, or early or noon time. Okay, now this is the Real Guardian signing off.